At the beginning of the story, we see two brothers being taken prisoner by Japanese soldiers, forced along as they cross a river. After reaching the other side, the soldiers suddenly set them free, handing them a small portion of food and telling them to share it between themselves. As the younger brother steps forward to pick it up, a sudden explosion rips through the air, tearing his body apart in an instant. The shock, the helplessness of that moment, it carves something deep into the other brother's heart, something he never forgets. Years later, we see him again, grown, hardened, carrying only one purpose: revenge against the Japanese for his brother's death. One day, he quietly slips a fake grenade into a Japanese army cab, and panic spreads instantly as soldiers rush out of the camp. The moment they step outside, Korean snipers cut them down one by one. The plan is so precise, so calculated, the enemy doesn't even get a chance to react. In the chaos, Wang enters the camp and finds a terrified young Japanese boy, and for a brief second, he sees his own little brother in him. He doesn't kill him. Instead, he writes his army's name on the wall using their blood, a message left behind: Korea will no longer live in chains. Soon after, we see Japan's chief commander, Yasukawa Jiro, slicing into a live tiger, peeling its skin without hesitation. Suddenly, the tiger moves, still alive, but without fear, Yasukawa kills it brutally, as if it's nothing. When he learns the Korean fighters attacked his camp, he immediately orders his men to wipe them all out. His army storms into a nearby village, dragging people out of their homes one by one. Anyone who tries to run is shot on the spot, and the rest are forced to stand before Commander Arashi. The air fills with screams and fear, every person fighting to stay alive. The commander calls for the village chief, and as the man steps forward, a gun is raised to his head. He's asked who attacked the camp the previous day. The chief already knows. They won't be spared. Instead of answering, he tells everyone to run, then grabs the commander's revolver and shoots himself. The villagers scatter in every direction, desperate to escape, but the soldiers hunt them down mercilessly, killing unarmed people without hesitation. Their cruelty shows no limits. Children, the elderly, even pregnant women, no one is spared. Then Aroyoshi notices a kite drifting in the sky. He fires toward it, and a child suddenly breaks into a run in fear. Without a second thought, Aroyoshi shoots him from behind. In that moment, the depth of their brutality becomes impossible to ignore. Seeing this, the boy's sister, who had been hiding in the fields, runs to him and collapses beside his body. As she cries over him, the Japanese soldiers laugh, untouched by her pain. Not even a flicker of mercy crosses their faces. The commander draws his sword, and before striking, he begins his signature dance. But suddenly, a sniper's bullet cuts through the air, taking down several soldiers at once. Within seconds, hidden snipers in the jungle unleash a storm of gunfire. Surrounded from all sides, the commander is forced to retreat with whatever men he has left. The attack is swift, precise, leaving nothing but chaos behind. As they chase them, Wang's rifle jams, and he stops to fix it. The commander sees this as weakness and sends a soldier to finish him, but in a single motion, Wang strikes, separating the man's head from his body. The commander doesn't wait, he runs. Later, Wang brings the young Japanese boy among the villagers, forcing him to witness the truth with his own eyes. One captured soldier offers him a deal: join them, live a life of pride in their empire. But for Wang, nothing matters more than freedom, and that is something he will never give up. The moment Wang hears that, rage takes over, and he brutally cuts off the soldier's private part. After that, Han, his army's captain, steps forward and demands answers about their mission. Terrified, the remaining soldiers quickly start spilling the truth, their voices shaking as if death is already standing in front of them. They reveal that Yasukawa sent them to find a man who was supposed to pass through this very village. Hearing this, Wang understands instantly they're planning to kill him, and right then, he makes a decision. No matter what happens, he will protect that man. On the other side, we see Yasukawa moving toward Mount Hwan with his army. He has captured a Korean freedom fighter, keeping him alive only to guide the way. His intentions are clear, cold, calculated, and dangerous. When he reaches the village, he sees the bodies of his soldiers scattered across the ground. For a moment, he can't believe it. How could a handful of farmers kill so many trained men? But then, his disbelief turns into resolve. He decides that at Mount Hwan, he will kill every single person who dared to rise against the Japanese Empire. He asks the captive for the path to Mount Han, and the man silently points in the right direction. At the same time, we see the man the entire Japanese army is hunting. Now, every step he takes is surrounded by danger. Lee Jinson's mission is simple, but critical: to deliver a large sum of money to the Bongo-dong Valley, where it will be used to buy more weapons. But the Japanese already know about his presence. Just as Lee prepares to move forward with the money, they launch a sudden attack. The shanty shatters instantly, turning into chaos and tension. The villagers, without thinking about their own lives, help him escape because getting that money to Bongo-dong matters more than anything. Lieutenant Kusanagi leads his army in pursuit, closing in step by step. Lee manages to break away, running through the terrain until he encounters Wang's men along the way. Meanwhile, Kusanagi moves forward cautiously, sensing danger ahead. He quickly realizes this could be a trap and orders his men to fall back. Every move he makes is calculated, careful. He refuses to walk blindly into danger. They quietly surround the area, making sure the Koreans don't suspect a thing. Instead of attacking immediately, they decide to wait, planning to strike at dawn. Elsewhere, Jang Ha asks Lee about his sister. He had heard that a girl was traveling with him, but the answer he gets is something he wasn't ready for. Worley takes out an urn from his bag and tells him the truth. His sister is gone. Inside that urn are the ashes of those who were burned alive by the Japanese. In that moment, the air turns heavy, filled with grief and a rising anger. A girl who had come with Lee steps forward and hands Zhang Ha his sister's ring. She tells him she held onto it until the very end, until they burned her alive. Her last wish was simple, that this ring would reach him. Her words carry the weight of pain, of those final helpless moments. Hearing this, Zhang Ha breaks completely. What remains inside him now is not sorrow, but pure hatred for the Japanese. Elsewhere, Kuzan reports to Yasukawa, telling him that the fighters are hiding at the mountain's peak. They begin discussing their next move, when suddenly Ariyoshi arrives, barely standing, his condition shattered. Seeing him, Yasukawa's expression hardens with disappointment. He says they are dragging the name of the Japanese Empire through the dirt. His words cut deep, filled with anger and humiliation. Losing to farmers wasn't enough, now they've run from them too. You should be ashamed. Ariyoshi tries to explain they're not ordinary farmers, they've been trained to fight, but Yasukawa shuts him down coldly. When this report reaches headquarters tomorrow, none of that will matter. It will only say one thing, that the Japanese were defeated by mere farmers. In front of everyone, Ariyoshi is humiliated without mercy. Then the captured prisoner is brought forward. Yasukawa makes him a promise, tell us where the freedom fighters are heading and these villagers will be spared. But in his voice, there's less truth and far more deception. Even after the man tells him everything, Yasukawa still kills him without hesitation. Meanwhile, we see the Japanese boy, Yukio. When he's given food, he angrily throws it away. Seeing this, a Korean boy loses his temper and starts beating him. It's clear the pride and hatred inside Yukio haven't faded yet. The boy drags him toward a girl whose brother was killed by Japanese soldiers. Yukio watches as she quietly cries, remembering her brother, yet she still cooks food for everyone, making sure no one goes hungry. She even made food for Yukio, the same food he threw away. Zhang Ha, already burning with rage, raises his gun to kill him, but before he can pull the trigger, Wang steps in and stops him. He says, if you kill him, then what difference is left between us and them? There's calm in his voice, humanity, reason, and for a moment, everything goes still. But the next second, Zhang Hao punches Wang hard, shocking everyone. He had never raised his hand against him before. After things settle, the girl walks up to Yukio again, quietly offering him food. Just eat, she says. And in that moment, even in the middle of all this, humanity is still alive. Fine, you need to stay alive, and when you return to your country, tell them everything you saw here with your own eyes. That night, the Koreans celebrate like it's their last, because deep down, they know only the money might make it to Bongo Dong tomorrow. Most of them won't survive the fight. Behind their laughter, there's fear, uncertainty, something heavy in the air. At a distance, hidden in the dark, a few Japanese soldiers watch them closely. The next morning, they report back to Yasukawa, telling him there are more than 40 people up there. When Yasukawa hears that they've captured one of his young soldiers, he orders them to bring him back alive. There's something else in his tone, a strange respect for the girl's bravery. Meanwhile, Wang hands all the money to Lee, telling him it must reach Bongo Dong no matter what. The responsibility is enormous. One mistake and everything falls apart. Zhang Ha assigns a boy to take all the children through another route toward the valley. The rest stay behind to distract the Japanese army. As Yasukawa finalizes his attack plan, Ariyoshi arrives and demands to lead the assault. Yasukawa's face hardens instantly, anger written all over it. He's in no mood to forgive mistakes. Without a word, he cuts off one of Ariyoshi's fingers and tells him, before the blood dries, bring them to me or lose it forever. Meanwhile, Yukio, moving ahead with the group, struggles to climb a rock with his hands tied. Seeing this, a Korean boy quietly unties him. It's a small act, but it sparks the beginning of trust between them. Once they reach the top, they drink water, exchange a few words, and slowly, a bond begins to form. But none of them realize that Japanese soldiers are already waiting in ambush. The moment one of the girls steps away, they grab her and open fire. Yukio could have run, but he doesn't. Instead, he stands in front of them, shouting at his own men to stop shooting. In that moment, everything about him changes. Let her go, she's not one of them, he says. But the soldiers don't listen. They take both of them away. The boy assigned by Janga to lead the children returns, breathless, telling them they've been captured. He grabs a weapon, ready to fight back, but Janga stops him. He says, your mistake will destroy the entire plan. As they look ahead, Ariyoshi stands just a short distance away, close enough to see each other clearly, and then his entire battalion charges forward. Now, everything is turned into war, where every second carries the weight of life and death. In the middle of all this, Yukio is brought before Yasukawa. He looks at him and asks, you're so young, why did you leave school to join the army? Yukio answers quietly that he wanted to help expand the Japanese empire and see how the world sees them. There's innocence in his words, but it is already still constantly with reality. Yasukawa leans in and asks, "So what did you feel after coming here?" Yukio lowers his gaze and says he feels ashamed. Seeing what his people have done to the Koreans fills him with regret. Hearing his empire being spoken of like this, Yasukawa warns him to watch his words. He says, "I'll forget what you just said. Just don't ever repeat it outside." There's a quiet threat in his voice, something that could turn deadly at any moment. But even then, Yukio doesn't stay silent. Yasukawa hands him a knife and says, "Now you'll have to pay for it with your life." Without hesitation, overwhelmed with shame, Yukio takes the knife and drives it into his own stomach. At that exact moment, a grenade lands inside the camp. Panic erupts instantly, soldiers scattering in every direction, unsure of what's about to happen next. But when Yukio looks closely at the grenade, he realizes it's fake. Just then, Fong arrives and pulls him out of there. On the other side, a Japanese soldier moves toward a Korean girl, about to assault her, when suddenly Yukio steps in and attacks him. Without thinking about his own life, he chooses to stand against what's wrong. Even after being injured, the soldier stabs Yukio again and again. Meanwhile, Wang reaches the prisoner the Japanese had been forcing for directions. The man has been brutally tortured, and seeing him like that hits Wang hard. The prisoner stops him and says, "Leave me here. Getting captured by them was part of the plan. If you take me away, we'll never defeat them." His words make it clear the mission matters more to him than his own pains. Wang realizes that Zhang Ha and he had planned everything in advance, so he leaves him there. But before going, he promises, before he can fully understand that he's been tricked, they're already too far ahead. Now, he can only choose one path, and there's no time left to hesitate. Without wasting a second, he decides to follow Wang. They open fire, and one of the bullets hits the urn, spilling ashes across the ground. Everyone rushes to gather them, those ashes carrying the last memories of their loved ones. Losing them feels like losing them all over again. But seeing this, Wang is consumed by rage. He doesn't stop. He charges forward, cutting down every enemy in his path. Meanwhile, Yukio and the girl, running for their lives, finally meet Lee. He takes them along and continues toward Bongodong. Yong frees Yukio and tells him, "You're free now. Leave, and don't let anyone capture you again." Even in the middle of war, humanity still finds a way to exist. As Wang gathers the ashes, Aroyoshi attacks again with his men. At the same time, we see Zhang Ha being chased by the entire army. Dodging bullets, he climbs up a steep hill, with others following behind him. He's faster, reaching the top first. Without wasting time, he clears stones from an old grave. Hidden beneath it, a machine gun they had planted months ago for this very day. The moment he pulls it out, Zhang Ha unleashes a storm of bullets, cutting down every soldier trying to climb up. Now, the battle reaches its peak, and everyone is ready to fight until their last breath. Seeing his forces fall apart, Orochi runs from the battlefield once again. At the same time, Kusanagi spots Lee escaping with the money and asks one of his soldiers, "Can you take the shot from this far?" The soldier fires instantly, and the bullet hits Lee straight in the back. That single shot changes everything, putting the entire mission at risk. They chase him down, but this time, Lee doesn't run. He turns back and opens fire, standing his ground until they finally capture and kill him. When they search his body, the money is gone. Realizing this, they shift their focus and begin chasing the children. Zhang Ha makes a decision. He will go to Bongodong alone, while the others stay behind to distract the enemy. It's a dangerous choice, but there's no other option left. Soon, they spot the children running into a dead end. Kusanagi understands immediately. It's a trap. If we go down there, we'll be killed. We attack from above and take the funds at any cost. Seeing Lee gone, Wang understands. He's no longer with them, but there's no time to grieve. As planned, Zhang Ha moves toward Bongodong alone. Now, everyone must carry their part, no matter the cost. When Kusanagi sees them split, he hesitates for a moment, unsure who to follow. But then he notices the cloth tied on Zhang Ha's shoulder and realizes he's the captain. Instantly, the entire army shifts its focus toward him. Meanwhile, Aroyoshi lies in wait, preparing for the children to arrive, every step carefully planned. But he doesn't realize they've already been surrounded. Suddenly, the attack begins, and many of his soldiers fall within seconds. Kusanagi understands the priority now. Kill their captain. One of his snipers moves closer to Zhang Ha. Yong sees him and rushes forward to stop him. It turns into a deadly moment where every second could mean death. Zhang Ha is in the sniper's sights, and the sniper is in Yong's. But instead of saving himself, the sniper fires at Zhang Ha and is killed the next second. Zhang Ha is badly injured, but he doesn't stop. He keeps moving forward. At the same time, Wang spots Yasukawa approaching with his full battalion. Saving the captured man becomes critical now, because one mistake could end everything. But when Wang reaches there, it's already too late. They had dragged after they see a demon being born with a round of combs stroke from the face and killed him right in front of everyone. With his final strength, the man tells Wang, "There's no one left in Bongodong. If you haven't found anyone yet, it means our army has already retreated. You need to fall back too. Whether the plan works or not, Zhang Ha will die." The truth hits hard, but Zhang Ha already knew this. That's why he went alone. His choice speaks of sacrifice, of courage beyond fear. Soon after, the man dies, and without wasting a second, Wang runs to save Zhang Ha. On the other side, Zhang Ha moves forward on what is now a suicide mission. He knows the Japanese will never never step into Bongo Dong, so he has to stop them here. He enters a house, pulling out hidden weapons, preparing for the final stand. Surrounded from all sides, the enemies throw grenades inside. This fight is about to become his last. The explosion leaves Zhang Ha severely wounded. Kusanagi, the power of GMs, cutting down everyone in his path until only Kusanagi remains. Young tries to shoot him, but Wang stops him and throws a sword toward Kusanagi, giving him one last chance to fight. They clash, blade against blade. But in the end, Wang's strike breaks through, and the blade pierces Kusanagi's neck, killing him instantly. Zhang Ha, barely standing, tells them to leave. He still has to complete his mission, but Wang looks at him and says, "There is no mission anymore. No one is coming to help us." His words carry the weight of truth, the reality they can no longer escape. Before they can react, artillery fire rains down on them. Wang realizes the main army has arrived because only they have cannons. There's no escape now. Only one choice left: move forward with everything they have toward the Bongo Dom Valley, holding on to the hope that maybe, just maybe, someone is still there waiting. As they push ahead under heavy fire, fear is clear in their eyes, and with every step, their courage is tested like never before. When Yasukara arrives, the scene in front of him drives him into a rage. From a distance, Wang mocks him and his battalion, calling them forward. The challenge only fuels their anger. Already shaken, Yasukara orders his entire army to kill them. Soldiers charge ahead, fire relentlessly, cutting down many as they run. The path ahead turns difficult. Water slows them down, making escape almost impossible. One by one, they begin to fall. Their ammunition runs out, leaving them with no choice but to keep running. A cannon blast lands near Wang, badly injuring him. Zhang Ha can no longer walk, but Wang refuses to stop. He lifts him onto his shoulder and keeps moving forward. Hundreds of Japanese soldiers chase them like hunters, closing in as they near the valley. Wang finally reaches Bungadon, but when he looks around, there's no one there. The place is empty. In that moment, all hope begins to slip away. There's no point in running anymore. Wang slowly sits down, waiting for the end. Suddenly, another blast hits near them, leaving both of them severely wounded. Zhang Ha loses a leg in the explosion. Wang quickly tries to stop the bleeding, calling out to him, but there's no response. Around them, tears fill everyone's eyes. After everything, it feels like their sacrifice is about to mean nothing. Soon, the Japanese army reaches them. Everyone cries out for help, but no one is there to answer. Wang, refusing to give up, picks up his sword and walks forward alone to face them. At the same time, Yasukawa charges toward him on horseback, but before he can strike, a shot hits the horse's legs, sending him crashing to the ground. As Yasukawa stands, he realizes he's surrounded. Wang looks around too, and understands he's not alone. Freedom fighters from across the land stand there, waiting. No one ran, and in that moment, hope returns. Yasukawa realizes he's trapped. Before he can react, bullets rain down from all sides. His soldiers fall one by one. They try to run, but it's too late. Their commander's pride has led them straight into death. Their defeat is clear now, and their spirit is broken. Soon, the freedom fighters descend and attack with full force. Watching his men retreat, Yasukawa burns with anger, ordering them to stand and fight, but they turn their backs and run. Wang steps forward to face Yasukawa and throws a grenade. Yasukawa assumes it's fake. This time, it explodes. They clash in a final fight, but in swordsmanship, Wang is unmatched. He strikes again and again until Yasukawa can barely stand. Then Wang stops. He tells him, "Stop spreading hatred among your people. Go back to your country. Save them from tyranny." But Yasukawa refuses to listen, and in the end, Wang is forced to kill him. This is how it ends, the price of his pride and stubbornness. Soon after, the remaining Japanese soldiers surrender to the Korean army, something that might never have happened if Yasukawa had continued to push them. Elsewhere, we see Ariyoshi, his mind shaken, broken by fear and constant defeat. As he tries to escape, he runs into an old man who asks him, "Where are you going?" There's no path ahead. The Korean army captures him as well. And then we realize that old man is the commander of the Korean Independence Army, the one who planned everything. Seeing him, Won falls to his feet. Because of him, the entire nation found the courage to stand against the Japanese. The moment is filled with respect, with gratitude. The commander tells him, "It took great courage to come this far. Not everyone has that. I'm proud of you." Those words feel like a reward greater than anything else. In the end, we see that same flag preserved in a Korean museum for over 100 years, a symbol of sacrifice, of courage, of everything they fought for. And with that, the story comes to an end, but the memory of their bravery lives on forever. Oh you, sometimes a story isn't just heard, it's felt. And what you witnessed today wasn't just a story, it was a battle for identity. If you want more stories filled with real emotion, the kind that gives you chills, then subscribe to GORACT HOPT right now. Because every video here will make you think, and once you're in, you won't be able to walk away.